your bis. That's right. Your knowledge, your pure, not not alchemy, not changed and perverted. That's adding. He doesn't want us to add or take away. So thank you, Father, for the word, the spiritual Hokadesh, spiritual this knowledge. It's what Father is. You don't die and go to the sky. You die and go to the Word. Father is the Word. In the beginning was the Word. So the Word became flesh. That's the one who paid the bride price. So thank you, Father, for sending your Son so that we can follow and conform, have like a roadmap. We know which way to go, like a compass. You are our moral compass. How about that? Like a guiding light. So thank you, Father, for the word. So thank you for bis. Remember, he doesn't want you to change his word. So that's froward. It means to add. He said, don't add or take away. It has to be perfect. Perfect light. So thank you for bis. Remember, hell's not a place. Hell is knowledge. Lack of. Well, the negation. No knowledge at all. Well, that's an idiot. Kinda. An empty space of Father in their head. So if it's perverted, then you're going to go there. He don't like perverts, Father, remember? He said, don't pervert. You perverted. You froward. My Father's agape. So that's what he said in the flesh. He doesn't want us to change. So he came back to make this covenant because they changed his father's Shem, the authority, the commandments, the 613 statutes and commandments. So we're not under flesh laws. So thank you, Father, for that. That's why he sent his Son, because they were perverting his law, his agape, the Torah, the law, the Jewish law. So, and there were no such thing as Jews. Jew is a new term, just so you know, because there's no J. So Jews not, he was from Judea, but that's not, there was no, he was the lion, sprang out of, right, from the house of David, born of Bethlehem. So we know which one we're speaking of, not this one born in a manger in the middle of the winter, bang, bang, or the one that's got breast. If your Jesus has breast, you're Baphomet 3-in-1, God. So thank you, Father, for bis. He said, my people shall perish for lack of bis. Bis. They'll gnash teeth, right? Hell is not a place. Hell is knowledge. That's where the adversary's locked in the pit. Remember, he's got the keys to knowledge. That's Father. You don't die and go to the sky. You die and go to knowledge. You die and go to the Word. Unchanged. Undefiled. He's pure. That's idolatry. So add and take away. There you go. Fornicating with your own dialectus glossa tongue, whatever. Like a split tongue, like a forked tongue. So remember, he said, don't add or take away. Watch it. This is knowledge. Hell is lack of knowledge. It's not a place. Hell isn't a place. Father isn't in the sky. Father is written on the hearts of the bride now under this covenant through Shiloh, the one born of Bethlehem, not in the sky. Stop it with your carpet Jesus nonsense. Got him mowing my lawn over there. Looks like a golf course, huh? All right. Like they fly over a planet. Imagine that. Like dragons. Whoa. Knowledge. Father's knowledge. Father's the word. People make up, that's translation. Idolatry, demonic, daemonion, a fortune teller, distributor, lies and fortunes. Fortunes. Remember? Come in my tent and a tabernacle. It's a tabernacle. Remember, a tent, a temporary place of study. It's intense. Get it? Tabernacles. Whew. Ties. Remember, they leave food. He said, don't sup. It's written on their hearts. Remember? Tables. Pow. There you go again. Are you on the same planet as me? You can get out of my space. Space. God's in the sky. Here we go again. You're a child. Stop it. The little rocket rituals, a little. Father doesn't come from the stars. He created the stars, sun and moon. Planet means wander. You don't live on a planet. Oh, if you think you live on a planet, you can wander out of here. Remember, cause one of mine to stumble. There'd have a millstone tied around your neck and be cast into the sea. Now, hurt one or cause one of mine to stumble. Eat one of them. So don't add or take away. So people like to translate. They're translators. They have their trans Jesus. Their carpet, remember? Come in my tent, tabernacles. Let me rub on my crystal ball and tell you fortunes, lies. 23.5 degree reason for the season nonsense. We just went through the Passover, right? But people don't. We're not under these celebrations. Remember, we're not bound by. I don't go on dates with men, follow mandates or codes or ordinances. Yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do right now. But that's all right. Give unto Caesar, remember? Caesar. Two sides of the same coin, or you've been tokenized. Bonded too. Merchandised. Your merchant number. So. Codes. Remember, those are for corporations, businesses like the stock market open for business. They're nailed to the stock exchange, New York Stock Exchange, like the Hamashiach was nailed to a stock, not a cross. Nobody ever hung from crosses. That's paganism. Catholicism. Yes, the plea bar game. Please. Extort my bar gain number so I can gain. So remember, the beast. So remember, they throw you in a jail cell, fine you if it's for celebrating. So your carpet Jesus. So remember, come in my tent and whatever, Aladdin. He's over there mowing the lawn with Fernando and Pedro. So, you have to take that up with Ryan Iceman when he comes back. We have to tell that's Ryan. He's got carpet Jesus over there mowing the lawn. Got it look like a golf course. Okay, so let's have a talk about it. It's Taco Tuesday, so let's talk about it. Thank you, Father, for the word. The word became flesh. That's the one who said, turn your cheek, be meek, not weak. So if you're weak, get out of here. Thin skin, Cro-Magnon man had thicker skin and a bigger brain. Remember your brain, the size of your, so you can exit stage right or left on this world stage that you live on, this rock, planet, or whatever. That's wandering. The church so that ministries can get fat and sassy and bring back some more money. Yeah, there you go. Put the money in your basket. Yeah. See, Jason, if you tell people, he said, come out of my people, remember? That's why the Messiah was such a threat. That's why the gospel is such a threat to, because you're not going to turn anybody. You're not bringing anybody to Father. You can't accept Christ. You can't be saved. There's no free will. There's no luck. So no fortune. Remember? Fortune tellers. Demon. Distributor fortunes are lies. It's written in your book. It's written on the hearts of the bride as devil. There's no such thing as a devil. We are having that conversation in the prior live stream. So devil is a term never written. It's not devil. So it's a demon. Fortune tellers to others. An idolater is a fortune, distributed fortunes or lies to self. A demonion is a distributor of fortunes or lies to others. Remember? Fortune tellers. To pay to, they throw their voice like a ventriloquist. They, like the wine skins or like the bottles, they would, pay $5 and Nathan. All right, hey, Nathan, it's Grandma. They would pray to their dead ancestors for fortunes, or you could give them money and they would throw their voice like, your lucky lottery numbers are 7, 11, and 13. There you go. So you better go now. Fortunes and luck. No such thing as luck or free will. Whatever. Ventriloquism, remember? Careful with their spitting. All kinds. Come here and rub on my ball. I'll rub on my ball, a crystal ball, and tell you fortunes. Let me rub your palm reading. All this tarot. Tarot is not random. Tarot has everything to do with your celestial birth date, but you're not supposed to celebrate birth. If you celebrate birth, you're a Satanist. Or an occultist. You're following this space farce. God's in the sky nonsense, spinning on a ball. So get away from me. What's up with vipers? You can take a bite out of that apple. There, viper. So, world stage, and get on out of here. Move on. Not the place for you. So, okay, there's no God in the sky. Let's just remember that. Father is the Word. So, filling up baskets is by, he said, the temple is the body. Like you got one here and one here. Imagine that. He said, like that crown, 3 and 11. I come quickly, let no one take your crown like a halo. So, the serpent, like the crown, like a hood, like stomping around in the hood. In my Air Force One. All right, never mind. Had to do that. My apologies for my outburst there. The old jukebox kicked in. All right, but it's not a jukebox now. It's a no, they don't do that. So I don't have a pod or a pad, whatever you call it. Whatever. You know how it is. La musica. Every once in a while, I don't 404 arrow. I spit out some music. So, but anyways, I have a wild. How about that? Well, I like all music, so that's pretty wild, huh? Imagine that, like dragons. Whoa! Remember, they throw you in jail, fine you for celebrating the orgy Jesus. Hey, Mo! Remember, and Pedro and Jesus mowing my lawn over there. So, the one birthed on December 25th, birthed in the middle of the winter, the cross, Jesus, they hung him on a tree, not a cross. That's paganism. You're a pagan. You're a Satanist. Stop it. Satan's the adversary. Been there, done that before. We've all still fall short of the word. Remember, Father's the Word, so he's perfect. He's the only one. All of us have darkness in us. So remember, you're in dark. Well, you were pulled to the light from dark. So birth of this, remember, dirt came from the dirt. Going to go back to the dirt. He doesn't want you to love dirt. That's idolatry. I'll make it simple for you. You want me to define it? Latria is to serve. Okay, speak English. Idolatry, one word. Greek word is porneia. You speak any Greek? Okay, just speak. Okay, Greek, porneia is, latria is to serve. Like idolatry, idolatria, or idolatry, idolatria, latria is to serve, and ido is serving your eyes. Those two thieves that'll steal your crown, remember? Hello, like the serpent over your head. Yes, they don't know it, but you'll know because they are worshipers, because they celebrate birth. The only birth dates are in Scripture is the birth of the sun god. Remember, you had a brother, Artemis. Mr. Warp Speed has his tower, 58-story tower. Remember, he had a tower in Manhattan. Babylon. Now he has one in Manhattan, decorated with the same dicks. Same phallic worship. Kind of like the one at the Vatican and the one in the Washington Monument. Imagine that, like dragons. You make me a believer. Oh. Pain! All right, never mind. Well, there's worship of their sun god, their carpet Jesus, remember? Their Nimrod. Come in here, let me tell you some fortunes. The devil Jesus. So, J's, I'm getting hooked on it like phonics. Remember, work for me. Fish hook. Get them ripping and tripping and gripping. Right? Hold on. Let's not do that. Rewind. Let's go back in time. Can't. Let's go back to the future. Get out of my space. Right? Gonna do some of this time traveling. Careful your dialect. They got you thinking that you can die. You're supposed to die daily. What are you doing? You got it all backwards. You worry about dying. Go live a little bit. Get off the internet. Get out of my space. That's so yesterday. They got people think they're spinning on a ball, so you're not going to get through to most people. They're already spun. Remember? Forward, to spin, twist, warp, speed, or God. Speed. God's title, and he's the most high. The Lord doesn't dwell in temples made by hands, like Jason was saying. Doesn't fill up church pews. Something stinks. Or we must be doing their calisthenic Jesus. They're up and down, you know. Holy Mary. Mary is... We're not supposed to go after Mary or deities or Father. He said, call no man Father. Remember, Pope, Papa, there's that whole Catholicism, Satanism. The deadly head wound that was healed, you're healed. There's no such thing as healing. Not in this modern testament. So, might want to get with the times. We're not under the old... If people could heal people, they wouldn't need hospitals, would they? They just go, come here, you're sick, you're healed, $50. Wasn't one of the biggest fate healers or one of those people, didn't he die of some kind of disease? Why didn't he just have one of his buddies come over and just heal him? One of those other, I don't like cardiac, I don't know. Go see Jim Brown, he talks about that more often. So, you know, no healing anybody, you're not healing. The word heals, the word Father heals. But the word does that. You can't take the glory for it. You're an idolater if you do. Remember, I introduced you to the word. You're serving your eyes, lies to your eyes, self. You're lying to yourself. Get away from me. You're a demon. You tell somebody else, you go around telling other people that same lie that you believe, that makes you a demon. You now call that devil, but there's no such thing as a devil. That's a word never scripturally written in the Testament, old or new. So get away from me. You're a demon. You're a neon demon. So go listen to Bob. Go listen to Neon Demon. Look at them demons. Get them demons off of me. I don't do hospitals unless I get broken bones. So, yeah, hospitals, right? That's where all the sick and dying people go. Don't think you want to go there. All the disease and dying and sick people. You can go hang out there for a while. Good job there, Michael. It's my last place I'd like to go. I had been like 17 years since I'd been to the doctor. Last time they were wanting to cut me open to do surgery. So now they're wanting to do it again because I'm busting another vertebrae. But I'm not going to, nope, not going to let them do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Sound like George Bush. Wouldn't be prudent. No. Wouldn't. Remember all that? Not going to do it. Not going to do it. I don't do too many impressions. That's a horrible impression in George Bush. No. Junior, I bet. Or was it senior? Papa Bush or Baby Bush? Stay out of the bushes. I warned you about donkeys and elephants in their circus show. Yeah. Sorcery is pharmakia. Yes, the big swallow this big horse pill. So, they already did. Remember the greatest jab ever? They should have just gave it to him in pill form. That'd been a lot easier, huh? Be hard to swallow. Get your sticker. The poker. Let's play poker. Get your cheat test, free test or whatever. Stand in line on the X. The big farm guy, remember? The creator of the greatest jab ever. Mr. Warp Speed. The one that has a 58-story tower is going to put an arch, remember, like the Triumph Tower in front of his tower. Oh my goodness, there you go. Right, could be more blatant. Remember, they destroyed it. Went over there and Remember ISIS or ISIL, the Levant, or, well, Syria or Islamic State of, or whatever you want to. Ark of Jonah, all those relics, the entrance to Nimrod's tower. You had a 58-story tower in Manhattan. Babylon. So, want to talk about it? The PDF and file in chief. The one most people, have been reading through the comments supporting this. Whatever. They already showed that. They did it. The same thing was happening with Bush. His ratings were plummeting about where Mr. Warp Speeds are at, and then they went into Iraq, and then they went up over 80%. So people love war. So, okay, we'll spend $400 million. How many airplanes are we going to lose to one operation? It's a war. This is a war. Stop saying it's an operation. I don't care if Congress declared it or not. Okay, the whole world knows you bombed 15 other nations, and we're involved. Ukraine, Yemen, Hezbollah, get out of here. Lebanon, people act like this ain't happened. See, nobody wants to talk about it. Taco Tuesday. Is he going to chicken out and chicken taco today? Or remember, he said a whole civilization, some kind of nonsense like that. Imagine being in Iran and you hear that on the news and have to explain that to your children. I'm seeing research about they're going around and surrounding, making chains around these power stations because they know that's where they were going to. They talked about this. Talk about it. They already started hitting Garg Island. So it's it. They already went forward, trying to get the element of surprise. It's not going to work. So they already do this. This is why they do these things. That's why he chickens out, right? No, sometimes he does. Remember? Well, that's why I try to really wish people would pay attention, right? But they can't. They don't have got the TikTok rot brain, attention span of a fly. Span, like C-SPAN, or like NBC, or always broadcasting crap, ABC. All right. Maybe the news network. Communists or Clinton, you tell me. So, all right, moving on. So, attention, Flan. Flan or Flan? Is that Flan? You trying to push some dessert on me? Dessert. So, I don't eat sugar, Daddy. You remember their daddy? They follow their daddy all the way into the train station. Remember? Come on, ride the train. The train riders, the high priest of the Satan Church, MAGA. So, maggots, all these, you know what a fly is? It's a flying, it's a maggot. It's a flying maggot. So, imagine dragons, right? No, Iran having to explain because of some kind, they took the interweb down there. Right now they're talking about taking out the infrastructure. Civilian is a war crime. It is. That's what I'm saying. Everybody just keeps standing by, so you're complacent to this if you don't say anything. Defense intelligence. Yep, it's MI, military intelligence. So, that's what matters. Boots on the ground. But it's not working. We're getting our ass. Somebody can't learn. Hand it to us. 47, all this talk of 47, 4 plus 7 is 11, 4 plus 5 is 9. If you go back in time, you want to go back to the future. If you skip Joe Biden, it's 4 plus 5 is 9, 4 plus 7 is 11. Blind 11. Most people are blind as a bat out of a laboratory or some soup out of Wuhan. Remember the creator of the jab, Warp Speed, the big farm guy? Most people are lost in space. Remember, he created space force or balls or force. Use the force. Remember, nano. I am your father. All that raising the Jurassic Jed spine in the swamp. I hate to break it to you. You are the swamp. Remember, drain the swamp? Yep, I hate to break it to you. You are the swamp. So, war is profitable, and they make genocide. That's what they're here to do. Remember, take this back to the Georgia Guidestones. 1700s was 600 million. They'd like 500. That's what they said on their rocks, 10 commandments tables. Or their blood rich on top of the stones, but I don't know what you're smoking. He said he's the rock. On some 33rd ball Masonic ritual cornerstone got you stuck in a corner. So put you in timeout. Father said, I remember Shiloh, the word became flesh, said, I am the Petra, not some fake Mason ritual. So 33 degrees. Are you elevated? Are you the light? So I'm saying, pay attention to what's going on. So have you ever heard of retribution? Not for me. I'm just saying these people will. Doesn't matter. They haven't, right? No, they have never have. They've never struck us. How are the only nation to use a atomic nuclear bomb? Remember World War II? Twice, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, and tell any other nation they can't have this type of technology. It's quite hypocrisy. Remember? He throws the hypocrites in the lake of fire. Hell, TARDIS, Hades, so it's okay. Father's already, this is all Father doing this. Father creates this evil. Isaiah 45:7. So you're supposed to be preparing. Don't make any plans. Father will wreck them. Prepare for the worst and prepare for the best. Thank him for the worst and thank him for the best. Thank him for all things. That's what you're supposed to do. Give all glory to Shiloh. All glory to the Redeemer who's going to come back and pick up what he already saved. So you can't be saved. Can't change anybody. Most people are goats. Remember? Greatest of all time, MAGA, high priest of the Satan church, all this nonsense, political, poly meaning many, tick meaning bloodsucker. Well, politics is many bloodsuckers, so they're all in on it. They're vampires. They'll try to drain you, whether you're an ass or a donkey, never mocking the original republic. Mockery. It's not a democracy. It was a constitutional republic. But moving on. We have that conversation often. I'm not sovereign. Father's only one sovereign. He's the creator of the law. So remember, there's a difference between a creator and an editor. That's you. You'll have your name blotted out of the book of life. You'll go to hell. Lake of fire. Remember the pit. You can give it different. It's Revelation 9:11. It's knowledge is what it is. Hell's not a place. Hell is knowledge. No knowledge. That's my definition. 100%. That's what it is. So it's not anything else. It's not a place in space or above or below your head, and neither is space and not above your head. There's no such thing as space. Where does it say there's space in Scripture? Where do you come up with that word? Where does it say space? You get out of my space. I'm a celestial magi. You know what that is? I've given celestial trumpets here. Sounded these over and over again. Take you back and forth to the future in time like a machine. Whoa. So you wouldn't know nothing. You have to spend time at this ministry to know what I'm talking about. The work's on the U.S. debt calculator more than one time now. So twice, like 2 witnesses, it's been declared. I didn't put it up there. Debt, remember? So, where do you put your treasure, brothers, sisters? Like pearls or seeds that you sow? He said don't cast like nets, remember? Well, you reap what you sow. Like the first fruits, the farmer, he said don't condemn, remember? Judge righteously. So he gets to, that's part of being what he is, remember? He's the one that gets to condemn a man under this testament. So just do what Father tells you. Cast the nets down deep. Just does the job of the net. Worries not what it catches. Remember? Just put the word on people. That's all you're here to do. You're not turning anybody, in this case, goats into sheep. It's not possible. It was already chosen from the foundation of the world. So that's the beautiful thing about the gospel. That's the beautiful thing about this inner standing and not putting anybody under, because that's an over is pride, right? No, you can overstand. You just don't outshine anybody else. Remember, he's the light, so use him to speak for you. Righteous judgment, that's what that means. You can't use your own. That's idolatry, remember? And he'll throw you in hell for that. Lake of fire, the pit, no knowledge, whatever you want to. It's not a place below your feet. Hell's not below your feet. It's not what it is by definition. So you keep telling yourself that it is, well, then you'll probably tell yourself that God is in the sky, and God is a title, and he doesn't come from the stars. He created the stars. So he didn't create planets. Planet is the word wander. He didn't create aliens. Alien is the word foreign. No physical alien, no physical planet. Planet is the word wander. So you can wander out of here. So you probably live on planet Earth. Earth is not below your feet, and hell is not below your feet either. So how come you're not hearing this from anybody else? Because I'm not here to give you what the world is doing. Remember, they think they're spinning third rock from the sun and their third Masonic ritual on a ball on the SpongeBob, Squidward, whatever, all that spiraling on the Milky Way galaxy. Out there on the spiraling on the like Patrick, like the starfish. Get away from me. The waters above, you mean? Under the sea. Yeah, there you go, SpongeBob. Get away from me. Look at it. Half of them just bailed. Like, get out of here. You're lost. Whether you think space, we haven't even navigated our own waters, let alone to go into the waters above. You think you're getting out of here? Just like we went to the lunar surface, right? And they're on their way back now. Artemis is Satan's, remember, Apollyon's brother. You're an idiot. Get away from me. Remember their cock rocket ritual, arcing around the moon? Here we go, more arcs. Like the arch of, that's the Al-Qaeda, the entrance to the pit of hell. You're an idiot. They're doing the rituals, brothers, sisters. Yeah, that's called Al-Qaeda. The entrance, that's the woman's entrance to birth, the matrix. That's what it is. But get out of my space, remember? These people are lost. Yeah, you can look up. Is that what you see there, Nathan? Do you see the sun? Do you see, are we in the heliocentric ball that we're going around the sun, right? Twisting, that means to twist. He said, don't do that. That's pervert. So, or twisting, corkscrewing, because they say we're going out, corkscrewing. Remember, you can't corkscrew and spin me with their Masonic rituals. Third rock from the sun, third dimension, on a ball or block, whatever geometric shape you choose to live on. Maybe you fly over a planet. I'm not sure. So, maybe you just grew up in some hick town. You think the world's flat, I think the world is flat because anytime somebody leaves town, they never come back. All right. So, but anyways, you're on a block or a ball, spinning at 1,040 miles an hour, third rock from the sun, third dimension, corkscrewing and spinning through time and space. That's the heliocentric model. I hate to break it to you there, numbnuts. You're already in space. Why do you need to go to space? You're already in space. Spiraling on the Milky Way galaxy, the arm of the galaxy. Get away from me, Squidward. You think Iran is going to get smashed? Thanks for talking about it. You think U.S. will do it? They're the only one to ever use a nuclear weapon on another country, Nagasaki, Hiroshima. Hello. Embargoes, Pearl Harbor. Bam! I already told you this ritual 2 equals 3. Now it's the Third World War. Is everybody we've already entered waiting for World War III to happen? Kind of like World War I. They didn't call it World War I until World War II. They called it the Great War. Kind of like the Great Sea. Now it's the Mediterranean. See? The people or see the beast? Which beast? You better start studying your words. Yeah, no, like I said, they did a bunch of, Dabu talked about this, Michael. If we truly, because people have the technology, and I'm truly surprised that there isn't some backyard astronaut. Okay, but whatever. Astronaut. Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever. So we'll do 2 witnesses. So they could have followed this to the moon and still should be able to, but there's been no collaboration. There's been no collaboration because we do have this technology to see these. Come on, if you could see out into all these galaxies, you're going to be able to see. You can fart and smell it on the moon. It's so close to us, let alone to see other bodies, celestial bodies like Mars or Venus or Saturn or. So it's within our, how come you only see one side of the lunar face? Because we're stuck here. Notice, like the moon that doesn't rotate. You only see like dark side of the moon. Gee, I wonder, are they going to send us any images of the dark side of the moon? Okay, moving on. Maybe they'll call home like E.T. phoned home like they did in 72? Tech, yeah, right. They called home, right? So, all right, moving on. Remember E.T.? All right, so. In a basket. So there you go. It's all Masonic ritual. Space is Antichrist, brothers, sisters. Worshipping of stars. Can't you figure that out? Star worship. That's Ishtar. They just did it. Spring, Happy New Year's in the middle of the winter. And then they spring. Remember? April, Ishtar. Passover is what it is. You'll kill your firstborn. Get with the times. You're not spinning on a ball. Get away from me. The New Year's not starting in the middle of the winter. New life starts and springs up when? April Fools. So, sun and the moon worship. There we go. And look, they just did it again. And this time they sent Artemis, his brother. Apollyon's brother. Artemis. The one that Mr. Nimrod has his house decorated with. Mr. Taco, chicken taco, he always chickens out. So did he chicken out? Because, guys, let's have a real conversation. Was somebody put the quote that Mr. Warp Speed sent out last night to the Iranian civilization cycle? That's David Devine. I don't know why I threw that in there, but go see David at Adapt 2030 Civilization Cycle and Ransom Godwin at Mountain High Television, where it's always partly cloudy. Ransom, he's a brilliant mind. One of the best, one of the absolute best in the business. Thank you, Father, for creating Ransom's mind. So, not random, Ransom. So, there you go. Kind of like Mary, Horus and Isis, Mary and Jesus. Same symbology, imagery. Yeah, quote me though, because I want to have this conversation with one of you in here, and I know you guys will have the conversation with me, because nobody's thinking about any kind of. There's no such thing as karma. Father's writing all this evil, so don't be anxious. He said, do what you're supposed to be doing. Be girded in His service and be in the world, but be not of it. So you'll be doing what you need to do, and you can still keep your head and not have anybody tell you his side of the story, because the loser gets left out and has to remain silent, and like it's a Miranda right or something, and these victor gets the spoils. So I'm not going to let anybody tell me to yeah, it's been a while. So I did that quite a while back, but it's okay. I just summer's here. I'm glad, we're almost there, and working my tail off out here. Lots going on. So here at the ministry. So need to stay busy, stay working, and stay girded in His service, and you won't have to worry about all these worldly things. You'll be preparing your spiritual house above things daily, and you'll be doing not things of the world. He said, come out of my people, and you'll be able to be charitable, not only with the gospel, but maybe you'll be able to give somebody a fishing pole. Maybe you can give them fish for the first day, and the second day you can teach them, and if not, kick rocks, you can tell them. So remember, you're not supposed to sup with vipers. So cast your pearls before swine. We won't really have many ticks out here, Michael. I got dogs that go through the bush. There's just never hardly been a lot. When I first came out here, there was hardly any kind of, only flies and ants. I'm serious. There was hardly anything else out here. It was so strange, you know what I'm saying? Even on like fly strips and stuff, you just didn't see all the little, but it's more and more moisture every year. As I've been out here for the last 10, now we're starting to see a lot more, but just little, there's not a lot of, this place is not heavy with insects or ticks, or a majority does have to do with it. The ground is very alkali out here, and it's just 500 feet under the ocean. So I think it has a considerable amount to why this used to be the bottom of a 500, foot deep, this whole area. That's where, if you look on this map, you can see these, Summer Lake and this is all filled up 6,000. Well, we're 12,006 in the future, but during the Noah event, this whole place filled up with water, and this is at the top of the Great Basin. This is the last inland ocean. That it happened because of the floods. So now they're all showing up in farmers in boxes. What's up with that? Anybody want to have that conversation? Or anybody quote me that quote that Mr. Warp Speed said last night? He sent out something like he's just going to wipe the whole civilization out, guys, of Iran. Like skip the whole. We're going to do the salination plants and the oil. He said we're just going to. Right. So, I mean, ticks aren't the end of the world, but I know, and sometimes they bloom out. Things got like, locusts and things like that. There's certain seasons and cycles and things like that. So they come and go. In deserts, they do that so they can come back, but I've never really seen a heavy cycle out here of ticks. Dogs have gotten ticks out here. I'm not saying, but they normally get the ones that get kind of puffed up, and I don't know if they call it a deer tick. So, but Very mild out here. The insects are. That's why I live here. No fleas. Because when I have working dogs, they are very highly allergic to bites, and they can grow an allergy. Especially one bite can start a whole nightmare for you. One flea bite. Seriously, I've done raised working dogs. You gotta be careful. I like, making sure this climate over here in the high desert, it's much better for my animals. Going over there where it's wetter, you get a lot more ticks, a lot more flea. On that side of the Cascades is where you're going to get ticks when you get over, tip over on the other side of the Cascades. So fleas too. Can't stand fleas. So we do get out here sometimes, guys. We get a mass invasion of flying ants, red ants, but they don't bite. They don't, and I mean, they come out in they will. I think I've been live streaming before when it's happened, and they just cover the whole house. I mean, they cover everything. They'll just be here for days too. Sometimes they don't bite, and they come in through anything. I think you guys been here when that's happened before, but that's just a. It's like you know, they fly in. It's a blue. It's a, it's a, like I said, it's a cycle, and that's happened a few years out. Not for the first 5 or 6, or that never happened. So things are changing, brothers and sisters. Remember, I told you there's nowhere on this rock that the weather is, well, this is normal like it always has been. Anybody in that climate right now where it's like it's always been, the weather's now we have La Nina and El Nino cycles. We have, a polar drool or wander have a lot of, I'm pretty well versed when it comes to climate. I have studied 400,000 plus years of ice core data, the strata, the paleo records, gone through all the compression events, the Heimrich, all these different Heimrich events, the Lechamp, all these different 6,000 half cycles. Is 12 great? That's what we're in now. Extinction 6, that's we're in now. See, most people don't. It's all in the strata layers, brothers, sisters. A lot of this, there's a tail, and it doesn't, well, like dirt. Get it? A tail? All right, never mind. Anybody a minor? So, not like that stupid bullshit with a minor, Mr. Warp Speed. So watch out. Island Boys, remember? Okay, that's what's cool where I live too. There's not a lot of mosquitoes. Every once in a while, a little bit. I'm not saying that there's not, because there is a body Summer Lake. There's Anna Reservoir, which is spring fed by, and then the second largest lake in Oregon is not just dots right down below us down there in Alkali Lake, but not a lot of mosquitoes out here too. I've dealt with that. I mean, I've been to all 50 states, and I've lived in Hawaii, Alaska, been in many different, traveled outside the U.S. obviously better. So I've had my experience to have, been in around a lot of different. I'd like the area where I've been over here in the desert. It's one of the times I just fell in love with this, because there was hardly any bugs out here, things to deal with like that, and been around it where you just have to deal with it. I hadn't seen a lightning bug out here. We don't have no lightning bugs, so it's where you're at, living in a jungle, you're going to come across massive amounts, crawling all over you. I go out to the forest in the woods over there on the other side of the I-5 corridor Cascades. It's bugs galore, spiders, all that. Not saying that there's not some out here, and there has been an increase, but it's not, not too much. We get some fly blooms just like any other, but nothing that's been, I've seen a lot worse, in other places. But again, I really think that it is this alkali desert is which makes, and there's whatever, I'll get a little weird on you, but I don't mean to get woo woo with you, but there's a hum here, and it's an old vibration that predates 6,000 years. Okay. So, and I'm not into anything but this 6,000 year slice of time right now. I don't care about any of that, my Pat. I don't care about any of that. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care about Enoch and all this other. I care. Well, I mean, that's still, some of that's current, but I mean, you're stop wandering off in a different time and slice. You don't understand any of these records, and you're going to start twisting. You need to start understanding, understanding, and overstanding all things before you can even have a conversation. Okay, because you can't be one-sided. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Thank you again. Thank you for that. Good stuff. Is that Jonah? We'll call you Jonah without the H, but appreciate it. Stop using all these chemicals, guys. You know, they feed us all these. Yeah, I wouldn't do nicotine, but nicotine has a lot of uses. Tobacco, real, it's pretty crazy. Um, People have used it for thousands of years. So now they abuse it, add chemicals to it, modify it, man make it. Genetically, everything is modified. So sprayed and fluoridated and chloridated, and now they grow food in COVID suits instead of coveralls and some Timothy hay or some alfalfa in there. That's okay. I like the community I live in out here in the high desert. A lot of these farmers don't use chemicals too out here to grow the the number one alfalfa on this rock is grown because of this climate too, guys. That it has a lot to do with it. So we do get some varmints out here, but I got kitties, so kitties take care of it for me. I don't even like one mice. I can't stand it. I'd rather have a bunch of noise going on around me, like loud noise, than to hear one mouse in a quiet house. Drive me nuts. So appreciate you guys all those comments. So okay, that's adding the fruit of this channel, man. When we put these good comments, things like this, the tried and tested things that have worked for thousands of years, guys. The lost ways, the ways that every one of us should know. It should be ingrained. We should be able to go into the woods and hunt and gather without eating each other or having wars. There's enough food on this rock to distribute. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I grow have outdoor garden and grow chickens and have in past grown sheep, and I don't eat pork but have grown pork and uh, goats, or I like the goats. So grow your own food, guys, as much as you can. Even we had, who was it in here yesterday saying they were growing some basil, some mint, some, just some stuff, some herb gardens. Get something going in your windowsill. There's no excuse why you can't grow even some radishes or something. Potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket, or tomatoes, something. Get something growing. Everything they give you at the store. I won't buy vegetables from the store. I was talking with somebody that outdates me by a couple decades, and I said, remember, fruit does not, all oranges have seeds. You ever remember seeds not having oranges growing up? Nope, never. Okay, thank you. You guys eat things that you people have forgotten. There was a life before microwave and hand sanitizer. You know that? Food spoiled and born on dating and all this. It's gotten just it's unfathomable how much goyim slop that we've eaten. And allowed ourselves. And I'm still guilty. I still eat crap but not like most people. I really limit my crap. I don't. I have a pretty high. I have a meat diet, not Atkins, but I stay. And I tried to quit eating bread and sugar, but I don't eat sugar, but bread and, well, I do now. I have a little bit. Otherwise, like I said, my body shut down because I quit eating bread. That's carb. It turns into a carb, which turned to a sugar. Pasta turns into a carb, turns into a sugar. All these extra things that everybody, soda. I hadn't had soda in, I don't know, 10 years or something. It's been quite a while. Guys, remember, you are what you eat. Irregardless, body's a temple. You're not going to get to Father by eating something or not. I choose not to eat anything for nutritional value, period. That's why, because I don't want to wreck myself. I don't want to be here, but you have to endure the end. So you can't just wreck your body. If you enter and under and overstand what Father is telling you, you can't just. I did. I wrecked my body when I was young. I was a veteran, law enforcement, grew up being pretty crazy, doing stupid things, kind of that jackass lifestyle. Whatever, crazy Tracy. People can call me crazy for no reason. It was a tactic that I used when I was younger, and if you were crazier than most people, not always, but they'd leave you alone. So, or it gets you, people like crazy. Sometimes crazy attracts crazy. So, Only crazy people are crazy. Don't worry about it. It's not for you. So, but let's get back to what I'm saying here. You are what you eat, brothers, sisters. You need to take care of your body's a temple, and if you don't, you're going to pay for it. I get up and wake up in pain every day. I'm tired of it. Tired of waking up in pain. I am even considering having surgery, and I never have. I sound like my dad right before he died. Seriously. But I don't mind being crazy. I'm okay with that. You guys can be normal. Tell me what normal is, or tell me what reality is. If not, get in the van. So the van's nuts. Grab them. Thanks for coming in, brothers and sisters. So, man, we're getting backstocked on eggs. I'm gonna have to go get some eggs away. Okay, hey, I got the generators up to town today, guys. And I did a barter. I did a horse trade. I feel good about it. I mean, I really would have liked to keep that other generator, but I only need so many generators. So I was generator light. Now I'm generator heavy. Father's like that with me. It just works out that some way sometimes. So, but he's fixing the original generator. I bought a couple more, and but I did a horse trade with him, and for the better generator, I didn't give him the cheap, I gave him the Yamaha. It's about $500 generator, but it'd be a come up for him. So he's the guy who fixed my motorcycle. I want it done right, and he'll do it right. And I might have to order some parts. I gave him some parts money or whatever, and do whatever. I like good work. I like people who do good work. You get what you pay for. So I want him to fix my splitter too. I mean, he's got some. I went and saw those windows he had. They're flipping huge. So I might consider him. I got to talk to him about that. I left the stupid handle behind, so I'll eventually have to go back up to town. So thank you, Father, for having somebody to. He's slow, but he'll get it done. He will. Like I said, I've done business with him, and as long as he doesn't go out of state, that's where he disappears. Sometimes he goes out of state and he'll come back. So, but it's nice to have. He's a good dude. Like I said, he is. He tries to help people, and when he can, he's one of those people who'll extend out and reach a hand out to help people. So he's like that. I like people like that. You'll know them by their fruit. Do not judge them by their cover. So either way, if it takes an extra week or two, I'm okay with it. And he'll do the job correctly the first time. And if he needs to order something like he did last time, he'll order it, make sure he has the right parts for it. So I'm telling you, that KX ran so flipping good. It ran okay before, but when you do something right and you go through, he just puts a little bit extra. It's like I paid just a little bit more than he wanted, but I almost didn't because of how much better work that he did. So it allowed me to trade in the truck. The truck was traded for gold, and that money was thrown away to an attorney. It didn't do anything for me. Thank you, Father. But it served the purpose. So, and now this will do what I need to do because, like I said, it's okay to have a backup generator. One, he just has to put a pull string. One is what I bought. I drove a long way, and the guy wasn't completely forthcoming when I got there. And so I just went ahead and bought it at a little bit of a reduced rate, took it home, and said, I'll get to it. So now I'm getting to it. So there's things like a freeze dryer. Remember, I'd like to have a freeze dryer so I can send you food. This is my freeze dryer. You know what I'm saying? Nice pomegranates. Thank you for that testimony. I grew up in the concrete jungle. So some of the best fruit on this rock, I grew up around that. I grew up avocados, and fruit was just, so I heard it through the grapevine, so that's in the valley. So right there where it was, I'm telling you, I've never seen any put salt on a watermelon until I joined the army, went back east. Like, what the hell are you doing? But that's okay. Everybody has a different taste in music. Don't tell people what they like in their mouth. So everybody won't have that conversation. We'll try to leave that out of it for a minute. So, but appreciate the testimony that times have changed. We are more resourceful. It was waste not, want not. Things got repurposed, and it wasn't uncommon for people to horse trade, like I was saying about what I did with food as well. Like lend me some sugar. I am your neighbor. Remember that? I think that's on a it's on a song. So remember going over to your neighbor's house to borrow some milk, or I don't think people even know their neighbors anymore. Not most people don't. They really don't. I've done this. I've worked in cities and house to house. Most people rent now. So they used to be homeowners as neighborhoods are now it's nothing. Remember in America, they're just dead. Dead neighbors, zombie neighborhoods. They really are. There's very little life in them. So but let's not be all this let's go back to the conversation about being fruitful and not being wasteful, using our time, guys, doing what we need to do right now. If you're preparing, you could get ahead of most things. I'm not saying to store gas, but gas going to probably continue to climb, and there's an air pocket that's about ready to hit us, and people don't see this, and so we haven't even begun to see what is about to happen. And if you followed scripture, you'd know, oh, okay, it says it's going to get a lot worse. How do I get ready for that? Well, maybe I'd put up some extra oil, have something for a rainy day, the old rainy day fund. They used to have cellars and put up pantries, and, you were crazy if you didn't put something up for a rainy day. Now you're crazy if you do. Boy, how the times have changed. The tides have turned, have they not? Yeah, there's a storm coming, a poop storm. We'll keep it G-rated in here with the spot. But anyways, apologize. I say G-rated in the spot. Okay, hey, moving on, like the 5G whiz. All right, like towers, Nimrod. So there's no horse trade is a term for somebody like me, where I trade up, and I, like I said, I can take thing like that original generator, put some money into it. Maybe I'll make $100 on it after I recover my money or something, and I had him put some money into it or whatever's gonna, I traded him a $500 generator. So I'm hoping I can get some more work from him other than these two other generators, because I showed him right online. He's like, yeah, so that Yamaha's a nice generator. So I didn't give him the Predator. That's Yamaha. This thing will run for a long time. They're just good, solid. Yamaha and Honda make outstanding generators. And this is not an inverter too, so he likes that it's not an inverter, because the inverter goes out, the whole generator. It's an older unit, so it's one of those box units. It's actually a 602, which is kind of a smaller. He's got a bunch of purposes he can use it for. That's why I figured he'd be the right person to have it. So sometimes you do that with things. You give up something to get something. Sometimes you give up a small object and somebody needs to make space and they have a bigger object. This is called a free market, brothers and sisters. Imagine that. A free market. Yeah, when two people enter into a contract, they shake hands and they walk away and both agree. That's called a free market. But everything's manipulated now, so let's not talk about that. So I like the horse trade. So it cuts taxes. Taxes, they started a war over 2%. They got a gross, a state, a federal, a net. It makes me, gross. It makes me sick. So what people take home, after the tax man comes to get him, like Matthew, the tax collector. It's already here, guys. Connection. It's here. Let's be real. I started eating my long-term food storage because I'm like, well, there's nobody coming and I need to rotate it anyways. And well, the farmer gets the first fruits, right? But no, I'm like, it's happening. This time that I thought would happen, guys, it's here. We're in the Third World War. During World War II, they didn't call it World War One, or excuse me, during World War One, they didn't call it World War One until World War II. Okay, they called it the Great War. There's many people, when we enter into wars, people don't even realize that it's happening. Are you one of those? Because I don't really want to have this conversation with anybody anymore. If you can't have some kind of war talk without freaking out and being all sensational and have a conversation and keep your military bearing, is what we used to call it, then get out of here. We're not being sensational. Preparedness, some of the most mentally stable people are preppers. Oh, crap. Oh, did something about that. Oh, crap. Did something about that. Oh, crap. Oh, got a B plan, C plan, D. Yeah. They're out fishing. Not too far from they live at their bug out. If not, they got a B plan. They get the flock out of Dodge because they ain't going to fight over dirt. They got some cash, not like CASH, like dun, 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 dun. They got some put away in a place, separate space. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, kind of like gold. It's kind of might want to break it up, fractionalize it, or that's how it works. And then you can walk away, have it. Not going to kill anybody over dirt. It's called evolution, brothers and sisters. You live to fight another day. Yeah, like a hero lives to fight another day. You don't sit there and take bullets, do you? Yeah, they want you to fight with each other. Red team, blue team, fight, 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 fight. Remember? Democrat, Republican. I saw this growing up. Same game, divide and conquer. You're a donkey. You're an elephant. You're an L. You're an R2D. You're an L3B. You're Chewbacca. You're Bigfoot. So you should get the flock out of Dodge. That's your plan, right? No, don't make plans. Just prepare. Father will wreck them. That's your problem. You make plans, you get one-sided. You don't see the other side. Don't be biased like that. You're supposed to thank Father for the evil that he created. It's a test, not temptation. It's test. So, well, no, I'm not trying to be sensational, Sabrina. Iran bombed 15 other countries. This guy is in the White Horse or house riding this whatever, you know. It doesn't matter. We're the same thing. This is so COVID. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. Now we're having real world effects. You see the price of flipping gas a liter? You know, it's insane what is continuing to, we ain't even got to where it's going to be. You wait on this one, brothers, sisters. Well, oh, so you got some extra food. Oh, no, he's telling me to get some food. I'm not telling you to get in a rainbow vacuum, one of those re-gift sweaters or something you're going to give to somebody else next year, some ugly Christmas sweater. I'm telling you to get the things that you already use. I'm not telling you to go out and buy a big bug out or some kind of, no, that's you're going to draw too much attention now. You could probably still moderate. Oh, we're digging a pantry. We got too many tomatoes. We could go to the store, honey. This guy came over and gave us a thing of tomatoes. What are those? Those are weird. There's no label on that. Are they even good, honey? What do I do? There's no label on it. How do we know if it's got no born on dating, right? Brothers, sisters, move forward with your things that you can be doing to preparing. Okay, preparedness is a lifestyle. You don't do it in a panic. That's called hoarding. You going down and buying out everything and nobody. Then you're whoop 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 whoop. People following you home, right? Remember the COVID? They didn't like it if you bought extra toilet paper. They had a debacle over that nonsense. Remember they closed off whole aisles. You wait until that happens again. They're already doing this in other countries, brothers and sisters. If you paid attention, okay. If you paid attention, they're doing this energy lockdowns, work from home, same crap they did during the COVID. They're doing it again. They're doing it again. Rotating every other day on license plates, numbers, and letters. And yes, they are. You're just stuck in this world here in your little box here in America. You don't study any of these outside media sources, which this is already. Look at what's going on in Australia. They got crushed last time. So I'm not trying to be sensational. What are you waiting for? Gas to be $10 a gallon? Ground beef's $10 a gallon. Oh, I mean a pound. Holy crap. All right. Yeah. Ground flipping lips and buttholes and beaks are whatever. Well, chicken pancakes are just chicken or bologna or just chicken or what was that? Oh, bologna is just hot dog pancakes. All right. I don't want to hear your bologna. All right. Yeah. Did you what I just said? I heard that the other day. I got to share that with the ministry. Bologna are just hot dog pancakes. I've heard it all, guys. So, hey, give me a second. Actually, I'm going to heat up because I made some awesome burger and I made some rice and peas, and it's off the chain. I made it for last night's supper. So, dinner, dining by myself. So, I have extra because I made a little larger. It's hard for me to cook for just one person. So, it is, man. I've been a cook and at many levels, but it's easier to cook for two people. It is 3, 4, 5, much easier than to cook for one. So, apologies, I'll have to, but I don't care about born on dating. I'll leave it on the counter until it doesn't smell good. That's what we used to have, was called a sniff test. But then again, bread molded after 3 or 4 days. It didn't stay on the counter for 5 months, weeks. A burger from 19 what? So, Kentucky round steak. There we go. Frick yeah. Get yourself some good grind, guys. Seriously, get a red meat source. Cut off these sources, brothers, sisters. Cut your sources from the big blockchains. Cut that chain and start supplying locally. Go to your farmers markets. Find somebody who's going to Mennonite, or people who grow. A lot of them grow food, like Amish, and they offer amazing feed to their animals, amazing feed to you at prices that are very competitive. And then now, when the big blockchain doesn't take cash, they do. They probably even take some silver. I bet they would. They probably horse trade for a generator, like I just said as well. You better start learning how to horse trade. Better start out to not waste, not want, not. Right? Leftovers could be good. Some things are better, like lasagna, spaghetti. Some things are better the next day when you let them sit out on the counter. No, they're bad now. Throw them out. Oh, this guy's going to stay alive, but it came out of the food zone, right? Oh, the safety. So, all right. We used to call it the sniff test, brothers and sisters. It used to work. But then again, food wasn't made. What's it? You have to have a law or degree or whatever science degree to read what's in bread. Bread used to have 3 ingredients, brothers and sisters. What's going on here? So, what the hell are they doing? Putting corn syrup in bread for? They put it in everything. Dyes too. You remember, you want a blue, you feel a little blue or red like M&Ms, or you want to piss or whatever. I mean, you jump in the yellow lake. Dye number what? All right, hold on. I'm gonna go out, and speaking of taking water in a bush, let me go water in a bush. So terrible, man. The food we eat is poison. Here, I'm gonna eat some potato chip. Oh, this was off the chain. Really was so good. This could be even better today. Let's hit that with a little water for some moisture. Give her some steam. Got us the gases. Yeah, let's put the rest of those peas in there. Yeah, flipping rights, boys. Flipping rights. All right. All right. I haven't bought a bag of chips about like a year or something like that. And then I bought one about a month ago. Made it almost them last about a month. So, well, most people can't moderate. You're not just going to do anything normally overnight. So, making a switch, like preparedness, is a process. You can't, You don't become a farmer overnight. You don't become a cowboy, right? Somebody got to have cows. You got to learn how to take care of them, animal husbandry, all these. You want a little bite? Here. Just a little bite for the puppy. But, okay, moving on in this conversation. I'm not trying to change any one of you. I'm not going to sit there and tell you you have to do anything. You do what you feel like you need to do. But as of right now, with everybody around this rock, except for generally more of a westerly type of, mentality, everybody sees what's going on here. They've had to be the glut of this United States Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, tyrannical force that I had served, that I enter and overstand this. It's not something that we should even be doing to begin with. We should be having all these military bases. The money should be going towards the people, and nobody got in a vote. He went on a hunch that they were going to attack us, and they've never even attacked us one time. I'm just not okay with it. So I'm not telling you to try to change anybody. I'm not trying to tell you you need to do anything, but to sit there and be silent, that's something I won't. So because I'm not trying to tell you to go vote yourself out of this, or go. I'm telling you fix your local, what you can do locally in your own area. Right. Keep it local. Grassroots, like I said, stop feeding the beast, and it dries up, but people don't. They stay silent and they allow it to continue on, or they just keep feeding the beast. They never try to grow any food themselves. So, and there's not in America. They don't. Only less than 1% of the U.S. populace grows their own food. That was like 40% during World War I. So I don't want to hear it. You're lost. You're one of those people that probably doesn't grow your own food, and you're gonna pay the price more and more every day when you go to the grocery store. And when you cut off fertilizer, you cut off food. Might not even be, if it's even how much it costs, it'd be available. Unaffordium and then unobtainium. Coming with potentially your favorite food at the grocery store. Fruit, vegetable, something, could be anything. Disappear off the shelf. It's called supply chain. So that's why I'm trying to get you to cut off the big box chain and bring it back to them again, a grassroots more type of level. So more organic. Find more, become your own, grocery store. Then you won't have to depend on the system. Then when the whole world's freaking out, if you're growing rows and gardens, they're going to come for it. Better know how it is to grow a food forest. Food forest. Get your, oh, this could be so good. Or at least it was yesterday. Very good. We're going to feed the chickens in a little bit and pupper in a little bit. Need to try to bump that up a little bit. They do a good job at free ranging, though. They're all over the place out here. Good chickens. We got me some good chickens. Let me tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Man. Man, I did make a grip. I got like 3 portions, huh? All right, well, we'll see what we can eat there. And on, bro. All right. Thank you, family. I'm just going to hang out here. I was eating, I made, it's like long grain brown rice and then peas and single cow burger. Single burger. Single cow burger. Oh, thank you, Father. Mmm. I'm going to use some eggs. More red. That's fire, man. The peas in it just make it over the top. Hey, Saturn, maybe I'll answer a question. If you can answer some questions about Saturn. Do you know anything about Saturn? Or you just have that as some name that you picked randomly, like, like picking cotton or something? That's Saturn's not a planet. You're an idiot, is what you are. So I already know that I'm talking to an idiot. So I'm Magi, and you're an idiot. Would you like to define the word idiot? So don't freak out on me. Give me the definition of planet. You don't live on a planet, do you? I'll give you a hint. You can wander out of here. You're already lost in space there, knucklehead. I might know a little bit about that celestial body. I have it right there marked on my body. So, yeah. In the face, like the halo over your head. Well, you're lost. Cronus is the time marker, you idiot. It's a time marker. Remember, it's like birth the age that you're in right now. Remember, air. Hello? Is anybody there? Or is it just an empty space in your head? Like the triple conjunction in 1939 with the king stars, sun and moon. This is most of society, brothers and sisters. They think there's gods in the sky. They think they die and go to the sky, that heaven is above their head. They don't know there's a clock above their head. They think they can go to the clock. So leave them alone. They're spinning. Remember? Round and round like a halo, like a stripper on a pole, like the ring around Saturn. It was like an outgassing, huh? Yeah, when the firmament, remember, fell. But never mind. These people are lost in space, remember? This is so freaking good, guys. Now I'm going to have to remember this recipe and make that again. It's hidden. The peas in there. Oh, Sonia, I always read that, man. That sucks. I like to come chemical farmers. That's genetically modified. Kind of like Saturn, probably genetically modified. Too much corn syrup is corn daddy. $85 octane, baby. He's got all the boost, right? So, woo! Cornelio. I am the great Cornelio. So, hey, man. This is fabulous. It's better today. It probably been really good yesterday, but I ate it when it was crazy hot. So, I tend to like my food a little too hot, but I don't know what it is. I let it cool off. It has more flavor. Oh, the rice and the peas are outstanding. Nice. We were talking to Saturn. They don't know anything about Chronos or the clock above their head. But they turn the clock into gods in the sky. So I asked him to tell me something about Saturn. I'm like, do you know anything about Saturn? Remember, some people use an auto picker for their name. They do. They use an auto picker. So don't judge them by their cover. You know them by their fruit, right? Their name doesn't always mean I obviously going to say something if it's a name that stands out to me or something, right? So remember, Obama the Saint. That's not, he didn't pick that name. That it was an auto pick name. We haven't seen him in a country minute, but he's like that. He pops in and out from time to time. I thought they'd come in here and learn me something. Can't you learn me something, guys? I want to learn more. Teach me more, please. Teach me more. I need knowledge. You want dirt? I want knowledge. I don't care what shape it is. Different shaped or textured dirt that you seem to have fallen in love with. Should learn to be repurpose things, renew and reuse, revitalize, rejuvenate, regurgitate. Say it again. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one right there. Put that one in my data machine here. Thanks for hanging out, brothers. Appreciate your time. Pretty windy today. I had to clear out I had to clean out the Forerunner. It was just kind of a wreck. Too much. I use it like it's a pick 'em up truck. If it weren't for trucks, we wouldn't have tailgates. So I don't have a tailgate, but I had a concrete bag, cement bag come apart in a couple spots, so it kind of leaked around in there. And Mr. Bone goes back and forth and kind of knocked around a bit. So, and then it's my fault, not his. He had nothing. That he's fine. He's an awesome puppy and love having him. But I had to get those generators in there, so I want to get those generators worked on and get them back. So I'll buy the freeze dryer before I have the power. I have the date, guys. I have a hearing, as you know. So they sent out the letter. I got one. They even sent one to me. Well, We're kicking donkey tail and we're taking shems. So yesterday I got the whole east side of the building buttoned up. It looks good. All repurposed material, revitalized, rejuvenated. So I was hoping the toilet would have come in today, but it didn't. But that's okay. Maybe tomorrow. That's when it's expected to land tomorrow. So I don't like that it's going to land later in the day, because if I leave later in the day, then I have an appointment here in town on the 9th to go see the man. So I got to can't do it then, but I think I'm gonna buy a little more concrete. I just have a lot of concrete work to do in either way. I think it's stupid not to buy concrete. You should store as much concrete as you possibly can. Period. You do you, I'll do me. People go out and they buy video games and betas and upgrades and a wife on their, a rack on their wife or a rack on their truck. I buy rebar and concrete and culverts and things like that. Things for the ministry, houses and septic tanks and things that have purpose. But I'm not special. I'm just telling you, everybody's a little different. But my mentality is like, get this done so we can get this freeze dryer in here. I'd like, before I have this whole thing buttoned up, if there's some things that are out or if I need to move anything now, or you know what I'm saying? Well, I kind of got some of this stuff open. I'd like to figure out where to put that, wiring for the freeze dryer. So I might be able to run off of what's there, because it's already, it kind of needs a dedicated breaker. It helps, a line. So if you have that available, and I might, because I don't use a lot of power like that. So like, I'll be taking the oven. There's an oven in there. I'll be taking that out of there. I don't want that to be electric. I only like, I cook with propane. I like gas. So, but it's just much more, just like the way it cooks. I cook on electric. What do you want, Bubba? Come over and say hi. So, but thank you. All right, guys, I needed to eat that. I appreciate it. Oh, say, Dad, you didn't give me any bites. Well, that's too bad. It's people. I gave you a bite of a chip. So I go pick up the toilet. I called up a couple places, like I said, and the one didn't call me back. Maybe he thought it was funny, but the other guy said he don't want to paint it until he can paint it right. So I think I'm just going to paint it myself, guys. I've done some look. They make paint that'll adhere to porcelain. I know how to paint, so I'll prep it. I don't. It's not like you can't. How much can you prep? Porcelain. You really can't much. You just got to make sure it's super clean. You can wet sand a little bit with some, wet, and dry, or sandpaper. But unless you sand off that whole porcelain outer, that's what I talked to the guy at the paint shop, what he'd like done, so he could make it, 100%. That's his job, his paint company, So I think I was going to paint it myself. I think I will. I have time, so I'll paint it, a couple times. I will. A few stages. I'm going to prime it, look for a prime, and then paint over the primer, and then probably paint it at least one more time, and maybe even get it. There you go. So, want to get this, knocked out, guys. So That's why I'm hot to trot to get these things, these extra items that I can get put to the side now that, you know, maybe later I'll be able to trade that generator for a freeze dryer if something happened, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, I would call in the paint shop. He agreed with me. You know, porcelain is just something that's, if you want a permanent finish, you're probably going to have to mar that porcelain to create a mechanical bond. I talked to him for a little bit. He's like, man, you know quite a bit about painting. I'm like, well, my dad taught me. I painted my first car when I was like 15 years old. You know, I got and painted, you know, not the whole vehicle, but painted the inside of the cab, the back of the cab. He taught me how to do all the body work, do all that. You know, he taught me how to paint, and so taught me a few things that I learned. And since then, I've taken off. I don't know everything there is to know about paint, but you know, I was thinking powder coating, you know, too. So the paint job's only as good as what's underneath. Period. Let me give you the secret to paint. Period. It's only as good as what's underneath. And if you're going to have an issue with a surface like porcelain to begin with, you know, if you can get that surface, you know, off of there and get it back, which you could. So I thought about it, told maybe I go get it bead blasted or, you know, sand, you know, maybe shoot some sand at it or give it that so it can create a mechanical bond again. So, but they make paint that you can paint tubs and things like that. So I'll try, you know, an epoxy and that type of, you know, yeah, I think I'm gonna wait another hour on feeding these birds. We're getting more daylight. I've been sneak it back during the winter months and creep back up during the summer months. So, um, but yeah, so you know, like I said, and even if it got scratched or something, I get in there and finish sand it. You know what I'm saying? Finish sand it and patch it. You know, if it got a little scratch in it or something. So I don't think I'm going to spend the money to go have it done like I thought I would. No reason to. I'll just paint it. I'll give it a good sanding. I'll wipe it down the best I can, and there's some paint that's meant to be sprayed over porcelain. So um, I'm not going to be putting water. I don't know if I'll paint the inside of the bowl. I don't know if I will or not. I don't think I will. I think I'll actually leave the inside of the bowl white and the inside of the tank white, and just you won't see any white other than when you obviously lift up the toilet in there. Who cares what's at that point? But when the lid, the commode, it's all closed, the hole, the poop hole there, you won't. It'll all look like it'll just color match. So it won't take me too much time either. So I think it's worth it to color match. The one guy, he didn't laugh at me. He's like, I understand, or well, he did, and the other lady that I talked to, because then she let me talk. She said, "Well, my husband does these. Um, he likes to repurpose things, so he totally understands what you're talking about." So, anyways, moving on. I want to get that done. So again, hopefully that'll come in tomorrow. I'm gonna go try to pick up. I might buy a stained glass window for the ministry, guys. I found this pretty cool stained glass. It's from a church from somebody bought in the 60s, the early 60s. They bought from a church in Portland, and it's got a candle on it. It's really nice. It's purple and blue and a little bit of brown, and thinking I might take the one window um, in the ministry in that back bedroom. The daylight shines through there, and put it in that window hole right there. So a little expensive, but whatever. It's probably just going to be a little bit more than a regular window. So it's not double pane. It's not going to be the end of the world, but I'll frame it in and build a window around it, and seal it in and make it just be single pane. But I don't know. It's pretty nice. They wanted $500 for it, and I think it's worth every penny of it. But I offered them $200, they wouldn't take it. So they said they take 250, and I didn't buy it last time. I got kind of had to go, too many things to get over there at the time that I talked to him. It was a little late in the day. So it's beautiful, Sabrina. It's really pretty. It's really pretty. It's nice. As a matter of fact, when I do another live stream, um, I'll make that the cover photo for the. Um, it's an antique too. You know what I'm saying? It's vintage, guys. There's not a pane broken on it either. Not one single pane, and it's good size too. You know, it's probably it doesn't have the dimensions, but I can see it sitting in the window, and it's got a banana next to it for comparison. No, it doesn't have a banana next to it for comparison. I'm just joking. Where the hell did that banana thing come from? All right. Anyways, just throwing it out there. Oh, bang, bang, gorilla, like Donkey Kong to the break of dawn. You got throwing barrels and bananas. So, anyways, all right. Listen here. If there's something sitting next to it, and I can tell, I think it's probably 28 inches to 32 inches across, maybe 3 feet across by 3 feet high. Um, no, seriously, there is the glass too, Sabrina. Look, I'm trying to talk myself into it, but I need to be tight with my money right now. Like I said, I'm throwing it out there, but I'll have some. We're going to be able to do this. I need to buy for the ministry. It's for the ministry. A ministry to have a stained glass window, and it's square too. You know what I'm saying? It's not the whole round or whatever, like the shape of a, which there's some pretty neat one of those. Those are actually shapes of vibrations and frequencies in those church, the ones that are cylindrical in shapes or, round like a halo. But it's the purples. It's got purples in it, purples and blues and like white, but the glass isn't just a clear glass. It's like a tiger's eye in it. It's got some milkiness in some of them. I seen that, so I know you can tell it's older. It's got, some that glass was probably hand, melted in, it's not just clear plate. It's got some texture to it as well. The glass has texture. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I know it's that older glass. It's not somebody who just took a bunch of broken glass and made this is true. Like I said, it was taken out from a church bought in the 60s. So I should jump on it. That's why, again, I'm anticipating hopefully this toilet would be there tomorrow. Oh, yeah, just the work that went into it. So that's what I'm saying. I need to buy a glass. I need to buy a window for that hole anyways. Probably going to cost a couple $100 for a window. I've looked. I haven't even found a window to match and fit, so far. I have a couple windows that I've got, but they're not the same size. That window's not even that big. If it is, I put it in the front ministry windows or whatever and close one up or whatever. I don't care. I mean, I'd like to have sliding windows in both sides of the ministry to let the air circulate through there. It's kind of a nice to have, on both sides, glass on both sides. But because I would like for it to actually be somewhere kind of where we do the production, but it's just not that big of a piece of glass. Although it is pretty good size, it's not that thing's got big windows in it. I don't know what my dimensions are or something. They're all, 62 by, they're pretty big. And then I find the windows that are too small or too big. So I think at this point, I'm going to use it for that front, and I may just frame in the front window up front. I don't need to have two windows in the living room. Actually, if I have the west side sun coming in all day, I really wouldn't need that. I might talk myself into doing that. It'd take more work to put it up front, the front of the ministry, but that when you drove up, I'd try to put it up, as high as I could and fill in all the rest of that window, and then get some more siding inside it, kind of like I did to that front of the building over there. And maybe I will. Maybe it is a little bigger than I thought. Maybe it'll be a little bit bigger than I thought. So, and maybe if it's not, maybe then I'll put a slider window next to that and put that stained glass window right there and build a frame and then put another window right next to that with a slider. All right. Or probably more up and down because I think it's looks a little bit taller than it is. So thank you for the support, Sabrina. Like I said, I feel like I should have got it last time. I just too many things in town, and I left out of town. I didn't get to do it, and I'm hoping they'll hit me up because it's quite it's not churchy. Remember, I don't want to be churchy like a church, but I did say that I did want to put a stained glass window in the ministry. So yeah, see if he tells me to eat it, because I didn't show up last time. I didn't mean to flake him off. I just got busy, and then by the time you know, he contacted me back to, let me know he would take that offer. It happens almost every time. Like a door too, a lady on a door. I was already like 15 miles out of town, whatever, halfway between La Pine and, I'm like, I don't turn, back around now. I'm already, so I wait sometimes as long as I can, I get in, I just don't like being in the city, guys. I don't like being around a bunch of people. I do. I'm all right when I'm there. I just get like, I'm gonna go back home. I'm done enough. I've got, I would already went to Home Depot that day and, done Lowe's. They didn't, it took a couple extra trips because there were some things that actually they didn't have the concrete at Home Depot, which was really strange, and I had to make an extra trip over to Lowe's or whatever. So it put my time off, and then yeah. So, but okay, moving forward, because I do think we can go back and find me saying in past that once I was able to get a building out here for the ministry, that I did want to put some kind of stained glass window in it. So when I saw it, I thought you shouldn't even be offering anything on this right now. You have to pay for septic. You know what I'm saying? That's when I originally wrote them, and then they wrote me back later. The timing was so strange, but I think I'm going to go make an attempt to get on it, and it's really nice. So, but I do recall saying that I did want to put one in the window. It's just think it would be cool to have one in here. I don't want to make a church, remember? So I'll just probably have to eventually take it back out, the window out, and when I move, because I'm going to build a building around that building after I'm done, just walls. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to build like a lean to it, we'll call that, which people put around out on the outside of single wides, with the roof, because I want to get that air gap. It'll change the temperature in that building immediately. If you cover that roof with another roof, it takes off all that heat coming in from that. It changes everything. So it's a game changer a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put, 2x6 walls, exterior walls, and then put a roof up on top. So that'll make it even nicer. So I'll probably move the window out at that point. So I'll try to remember that when I build it, so to speak, how to frame it in. So, but it's a really cool window. I was just like, I don't want to cross, right? I don't want some image of Jesus or some nonsense like that, because we were warned about imagery, but it has a candle, you know, like a lamp, the eye, it has one single candle right in the middle of it, so it just kind of reminded me of that passage about the eye being the lamp of the body. So one single light in the middle of the stained glass. It doesn't have, it's kind of weird too, because it has a bottom design. It doesn't come all the way around. So it's not framed, but that's the way it was built. You can tell it was built that way. So pretty neat piece of art is what I looked at it too. So a window would cost me a couple $100. So what's spending another $50 and have to do more work framing a window? If I wanted to, I could double paint it. I could buy the same size glass and build a double pane window for it, right? Sure, I could put that double pane towards the outside or the inside. I don't know, whatever, a clear piece of glass in front of it or behind it. So, but I don't think I would. One's not gonna. It might help too, because those windows are flipping huge, and that, like I said, they're pretty big size windows. Um, so it just keeps better temperature. That's why I only put a couple windows in this cabin. I know that more glass is just more, you know, how's glass going to keep temperature? It doesn't keep temperature like a wall that's insulated. So, um, but yeah, it's really pretty. So, as a matter of fact, let's get off here, guys, for a little bit, and I'll come back on potentially for the end of the day, and I'll put that as the JPEG picture or whatever they call that, the cover picture, and show you it. But it's really nice, and definitely would be pretty cool to have in the ministry when the sun shines through and see what colors, if it threw any colors inside of that And so the wall, it's actually, if I put it on that wall, the sun wouldn't shine through that side necessarily, because that's not that side. That's the north side of the building, and the sun doesn't really hit that side. It hits the south side of the building. So, but anyways, appreciate your conversation about that, Sabrina, because I'm really hoping that I just think it'd be cool if it's a ministry to have a stained glass window in there. I don't want a church, right? Although we can come and church or whatever there in the building, and I do think one day we'll have some people come and share the gospel. We'll just be a classroom. We'll just learn, type of environment. But thank you, appreciate it. Just felt like it'd be kind of neat to put in the building. Something that I've thought about. Here I have the, kind of a blessing to get a really reduced rate, half price of what he wanted. He'd take my offer. Should have probably picked it up last time, but I looked yesterday. If the toilet comes in tomorrow, I'll be probably running into town. I have business the next day, so I can't do it that day. I'd have to wait till the following day. But life is timing. Father's timing is perfect. If it's not there, then it's not there. I won't, carve or spilt milk. But I think you're right, Sabrina. I really think it's worth the original asking price because of its age. If they bought it in the early 60s and it was taken out of a church in the early 60s, what is the date on something like that? How long do they before they redo a church, take it down, it's closed or something? That had to be pretty old. I think it might be 20s or something like that, maybe even a little bit older. So probably pretty foolish of me not to go pick it up last time, but that's okay. I had a full vehicle too, and I don't want to break it. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I can set it down and have it in a place. I had things, I broke a bag of cement or whatever. So I don't want to, it's like I said, get something nice like that and turn around and break it. So uh, that's what I'm thinking. Somewhere late 1800s to 1920s is what I was thinking. Because if it was bought in the early 60s and it was taken out of a church, you know what I'm saying? Uh, that's where I'm at. Trump plus Netanyahu. It's not Netanyahu, it's Satan Yahoo. Just mix it up, then you can get them both. Satan Yahoo. Mr. Warp Speed and Netanyahu combined. Satan Yahoo. No portobello mushrooms for you, huh? No lobster mushroom. You don't like being left in the dark and fed poop. So but like I said, the thing that really drew me to this piece more than anything, guys, was obviously uh the single candle and the purple glass. And like I said, the glass is kind of textured glass, so it's not some regular, you know, just smooth glass. It has texture to the glass with some, some back color in it, like a tiger's eye type of, Um, so it really leads me to believe that it must be much older than I think. So maybe Father will give this ministry the abundance to have that. So I'm going to make the attempt tomorrow to get that. If I can leave with that in the toilet, and I need some more chicken feed. I can't believe how much chicken feed I've been feeding them, but it's been cold. It's been 30s and 20s and stuff. So when it's cold, I throw a ton of feed at them. So they need it. Keeps their little bodies warm. So animals eat a lot more feed in the cold to stay the same weight, to stay warm. So if you ever done any, or bred or raised at done any kind of animal husbandry, that weather, you know, is a huge factor when it comes to feed. So I like spoiling my ladies. So, but anyways, I was like, yeah, you feed them a lot, but I've been filling that thing up because it's been cold. I'm like, when it stops being cold, they'll eat more, they'll free range more because they already do a lot, but they're all laying, there you go. So like a cow sitting in a field, guys, you can't feed that, a cow could use almost twice or double the feed to maintain the same weight in the winter. Twice the feed for the same weight just to maintain weight. Yeah, the cold does that to their bodies, but that's what keeps them warm, guys. So um, I love my birds. They're overflowing with eggs, and I'm going to have to water glass some eggs too here in the next day or three. That's another thing I need to remind myself. I need to get those tongs with the rubber, grip, so I can be kind of diligent about how I do the operation. Remember the game Operation, when I place eggs so I don't ruin them. I ruined all of those other jars. Now I didn't, because the birds will eat them. I'll but I do appreciate, like I said, you guys supporting this, because this is huge. When I get this building finished and get the freeze dryer in there, then this ministry will really serve uh, a pretty unique purpose. I don't know too many ministries that send food to to the body, as tithes. So, and organic food that's grown out here at the ministry. So I'm excited about that and want to share the abundance that can be created here. Even if I have to create all this abundance by myself, I can do that. It's possible. With what I got now, I can. I create even more than I have with what I have, and I plan on creating more. So there's a lot more room to grow out here. Not literally, physically, spiritually, all. It's this ministry will, Father will do it, not me, but I'll just put in the legwork, legs on faith, right? So I appreciate all your guys', support, because it gives me drive out here, knowing that there's people out here one day that will be able to glean from all this. you know you reap what you sow. So we put something in the ground, we feed our animals good, we feed them good food, and you're going to eat that and feel good, because I don't know if you've ever grown any of your own food and raised it, and brought it from to whatever, where you eat it yourself. It doesn't matter what it is, it just seems to taste better. you know I don't know. Maybe it's the food. Maybe it's the love that you give it. Maybe it just has a different flavor, a different taste, even almost sometimes a different texture. So um, I like the idea of being able to create that abundance and share that with others, because it's be kind of becoming an oddity. The food we eat has just become literal poison. Food flavored poison is basically what it is, box bagged in cans of it. So um, the idea again of this coming to fruition, all this for this freeze dryers. Hope they don't knock the power out, guys. If we're going to do that over there in Iran, they might do it to us. So that would be my timing, huh? Father's timing. He'd laugh at me, go, "Oh, okay, now you get the freeze dryer. Power's out for a while. It's okay. I'll keep going. We'll figure out, if there's a will, there's a way. And Father's will is the way that's the narrow way. Broad is the way that leads to hell. So not going there. Not going there, not doing it. Too much time and effort in this, girded in Father's word. So the word became flesh. Hallelujah. So I appreciate it. Like I said, guys, I really do. Yeah. So get out there and do what you can today, guys. Get something growing, get something in the garden. Remember some of those uh, past things, planting by the moon is a great way to look into that. Please look at the lunar cycle on when to plant. It's not being a lunatic. There are reasons why the moon does what it does, and it has a lot of effect on crops. Absolutely. They used to harvest by the moon, not just plant, but harvest by the moon as well. So nobody's afraid of the dark, and nobody slept for 8 hours, brothers and sisters. This rock has changed a lot. So go back to the ways of old. Go back to the things that have been tried and tested since the beginning of time. That's the reason they're tried and tested, correct? Yep, you're going to go back with what's always worked. You know what I'm saying? There you go. That's what I'm saying. They just look at the lunar cycle and look into botany and look into, planning and cycles, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Nobody planted anything during the day. Everything was planted during the night. You know what I'm saying? Yes, absolutely. Look into that, please, guys, too. Get some copper wiring, guys, and look into adding copper to your plants. Outstanding, Dial. I appreciate that. Seriously, I have some copper that I did. I got some. So I'm going to be adding. I'm going to make coils. I've got a big, pretty good size roll of what I'm 98% certain. That's all copper. It's just a bit oxidized on the outside. So that will make a bit of a difference. So it's that coil and the spiral that you put in. I did it last year with the ladies. I put some spirals in there with those ladies last year, and they turned out fabulous. So um, the garden's doing good this year, guys. Like I said, I looked today, and you know, for what it is, it'll come back. So I'm probably going to be picking up some more stuff tomorrow. I think I'm going to cheat, on a couple things. And just for now, um, I just want to have. Most of these vegetables I'm not growing for me. I'll eat some of these vegetables. I will, brothers, sisters, but 90% of these vegetables I am growing for those chickens, for my ladies. So I'm going to be feeding them as much of this vegetables as I possibly can until the last crop, hits the ground. And I'd really like to figure out a process I'm going to be looking in maybe one of these pellet machines that makes pellets. So maybe I can just shove it all in there and turn it into a pellet and go that route with it. So I want to figure out a way where I don't have feed costs. So not like that. There's a cost of growing it and seeds and things like that. But for now, or starts and things like that. But most of this garden for now is going to go to the ladies. So, but hopefully here in the next month, we'll have power on this property. And I might not have the house set yet at that time, but I'll be definitely probably hooking up that freeze dryer if I can get it. So that's my mindset, guys, right now. Okay, so I think we've worked through a pretty good chunk of what we need, permitting and all the other things. I might be a little bit short, but yeah, they're amazing animals. Chickens are the gift that keeps giving, kind of like a plant, brothers, sisters. That's genetically modified doesn't do that. Heirloom seeds, the gift that keeps giving year after year. You can you can buy one of those seed vaults that I showed you, and that'll be enough seeds for the rest of your life. One seed create thousands of seeds, hundreds, sometimes possibly thousands of seeds with one seed. People act like they're helpless. You're not. You can do these things, brothers, sisters, but you're gonna have to do them for yourself. Going to come save you. The government is mind control, and they've got your mind control thinking they're going to come save you. There's two kinds of people on this rock. Think the government's always going to be there to come save them, feed them, all that nonsense. There's people who use their head. People can actually think properly. So get your head on straight, keep your head on a swivel, but remember you should be doing the things that are beneficial for your children's children. Yeah, you can keep hatching those eggs out, and one day your children could have those same, yeah, eggs. Pretty rabbits, keep going generationally, things like that. Stop thinking about the drive-through and the Piggly Wiggly and the Kroger and all these Walmart and all the. I'm not saying you can't use some of these things, but figure out a way to get this supply chain cut back to grassroots, brothers, sisters, where you're literally cutting, your crops down and feeding it to your animals so you don't waste anything. You're totally self-sufficient, self-reliant, and you don't very little waste. I'm not talking about leaving a carbon footprint. I'm talking about don't be gluttonous. Go back to the ways of old. Waste not, want not. And those days are going to be very important here as things go scale back and get more expensive and less things become available to you. That's why I would like to try to capture with this machine now, like a time machine, as much of this protein as I can possibly capture and send it to you. My recommendation is whatever I send to you, don't eat it. Not until that day comes. I'm going to send you something through this ministry that's going to last you 25 years from now. Oh my God, the world's coming to an end, right? No, that's why I plan on trying to put away something for 25 years from now. You're supposed to try to make it that long, no matter how hard it gets. That's what you need to have that mentality, brothers, sisters. It's a mindset. So you have to endure to the end to be saved, right? So you got to make it to over here before you're going to get healed. Before anybody who wronged you, he will right. Anybody cause you pain, he will heal. So do what you need to be doing now. That day will come where you will again reap what you sow. So it's an abundance as possible, brothers and sisters. People don't think it is, but then again, they go through the drive-through. They have very little in their cupboards, and they won't make it very long if the grid goes down. There's never been a more bigger threat to our power grid. It doesn't matter even in Canada, because we're all kind of part of this whole thing. I think because there is some interconnected, um, it could take down just be the effect because of, how connected we are with more than just the interweb. So, and electric, like I said, not just electric, but the web. There's many ways that even South America, I'm concerned about the attack on this whole continent over here because of what we've been doing over there, attacking somebody's power grid. That's how war goes, brothers and sisters. Tit for tat, and it seems to always be a thing. And then they keep elevating, 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 elevating. So sooner or later, karma's up. And I don't do karma, remember? What goes around comes around. So if we attack theirs, I would assume, and I don't want to make an ass out of you and me by thinking that it's going to not making it a prediction, but that would be the elevation. You do that to us, we'll do that to you. That's exactly what Iran has been doing. They've been proactive, right? Reactive. And they're not going to care whether you voted for Trump or Biden. So shut up with that nonsense. They're not. And I'm not saying they're going to do anything. That's why they have the upper hand right now, and they're beating us our pants off. So I don't think they will. I think our government will pull a false attack and say it to them, because they never have, ever once, not even one single time. So don't fall for this stuff, brothers and sisters. Pay attention. Don't let anybody tell you history, but do the things you also need to be doing. Growing food, putting them extra things, maybe have a way to protect your things, things that are going to be more important than big screen TVs or generators. That's why I put an extra generator, Exactly. They've fallen for the left or right paradigm dial-up. So they're already lost, right? Two cheeks to the same hole, right? Two wings to the same dragon. The system keeps going on. The hopium. Oh my God, who's going to fix it when Trump ruins it? There'll be somebody else who's going to fix it. The hopium. They won't, until all hope is lost, dial-up, they won't get up off their ass and do anything about it. Nope. So, so that's what works. The system is perfectly designed right now. A democracy, right? Red team, blue team, divide and conquer. It's a war tactic. They've been using it for thousands of years. It's a tactic that the governments have used on the people, brothers and sisters. It's not new. What you're seeing is not new. It's been used. Nothing new under the sun. You just have to get away from this, become your own cycle, become your own boss, become your own power company, get yourself off the grid. I've been off the grid for 10 years, but I'm going to try to use the grid until I can't. Keep one foot in the system and take one foot out of the system. So if the new system comes and you don't like it, I'm out of here. See ya. If not, you're going into the new system. Bye. Whether you like it or not. They do this every time. It's just a cycle, brothers and sisters. You're not going to change this. The only way you're going to do it is to become your own system, period. Nobody's coming to save you. You got to die to be saved. Go study the Greek. You don't understand salvation. So either way, he'll heal us, brothers and sisters. Whoever wronged us, just do what you're supposed to be doing. That's all. That's all. Don't listen to anybody else. Nobody's going to be there holding your hand at judgment. It's just going to be you, Father, and Shiloh. If you have a mediator, if you don't, then it's just going to be you and Father, and one sin under the Old Testament is death. Didn't matter if it's venial, the least, or mortal, the worst. Did not matter. One sin was death. A sin is a sin. You have forgotten with Father. Add one jot under this covenant, death. One tittle, death. One thought, death. Nothing's changed. But the weather, they've been spraying us. Chloridating and fluoridating our food. Now they're putting 5% more ethanol, corn in our gas. So please don't buy that stuff, brothers and sisters. Look at the pump. I'm not sure if your state, some states have that. More ethanol is more corn, which is going to mean less gas mileage. During the summertime, it was banned. They wouldn't allow it because of the heat, because it doesn't. Brothers and sisters, that's what they just changed. So be careful. Don't be making any unnecessary trips. Be efficient. Like I said, and look at these pumps. Don't be just putting that gas in your vehicle because it's cheaper. You're not going to get the efficiency out of it. So although you might get some more compression because it's clean burning and all that, it's not efficient. It's built for compression, is actually in clean burning. So I don't like it. We used to have leaded gas, but moving on. We used to have leaded paint. We used to drink out of the hose and ride in the back of pickup trucks too. We did all kinds of crazy things that were so dangerous they were almost criminal. Freedom is dangerous, don't you remember? Borderline criminal. All right, guys, follow what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. crime is a term of commerce anyway. So it is. Learn your vernacular, vocabulary, dialect, gloss of tongue. So um, thank you for coming in and have the conversation, guys. I got to get something done out here. Um, I feel like I did. So, but I need to get some more done. Well, I feel like it's not the wind's not blowing out here, so I need to get some more paint on that building. I want to get this done. I got the generators up there today. I get those back. I get those sold. That's a chunk to put towards the freeze dryer. So the quicker I get the freeze dryer in here, the quicker I can go fishing. So it's April and I haven't even gone fishing once in 4 months. I need to get this done out here. It's going to take me probably be a couple more months before I do. So I'd like to go throw a pole in the water before the end of the year. So I better get off here. I can stay in here all day because I don't care if any of it happens. I mean, I don't have to, but I think it's the right thing to do. Remember, yesterday was the better day to do it. What are you waiting for the store to close before you go down and buy for your bug hole? All right. Love you, brothers and sisters, in the narrow way. If you want to put a donation towards the freeze dryer or the stained glass window, I'm going to go probably put some of the funds that I have towards that. Okay. I shouldn't because that's 1% of freeze dryer money. That's okay. 1%. I'll make it up. So AI, that's worth it. Thank you for that conversation, Sabrina. I really do think it's for the money. It's kind of peanuts compared to what it will bring for the ministry. It's an antique. It's got history, a story. It's not like I'm just buying something somebody built today. You know, it truly is a relic, so to speak. So it's you know, it's not that it's a material thing. It's got more value and so appreciate that. So we'll see if he's got it still. So we'll see. Possibly for the end of the day, we'll see you guys. And when you come back up, I'll put the whatever, the JPEG or something. Or I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just upload a picture to. No, I'll wait. I'll say I was going to upload a channel video, but we'll wait to come back for the end of the day. I'm sure I can find some more time so to come in here. I'm a little sore, guys. I don't know what's going on with me, man. I'm starting to feel. I'm trying to ignore it, man, but I just think maybe it's the vertebrae telling my body, just go. It wears on you when your body wants to fix itself and it's working properly. It's trying to tell itself to go get fixed. It wears on me. I just been extremely sore for just doing just normal daily things, and I'm tired of waking up just so sore. It's just hard to, it's just getting worse. So um, I'll listen to my body. That's why I'm trying to moderate, and I'm just sitting here getting a little locked up. So I need to get up, move around. Okay, so once in motion, stays in motion. That's kind of my fight, guys. Is I need to stay busy, and if I lay down, I hurt, and if I stay up and overdo it, so it's a weird life that he gave me. I'm still strong and I'm still fit and I can still work, but I feel it, guys. I feel it. Like I said, it's like this, guys. I'm seriously, I want to show you this. I was so pissed off today, and I wasn't that mad, but I want to show you this. It is. I'm going to flip this around. See this? Look at this. See that right there? Guys, I didn't even hardly rub against anything. I barely caught something. This is pissing me off that I don't have that. I mean, I have good skin. Remember, I don't have saggy arms and don't have that nothing going in. I'm in my 50s. I still got good skin. But man, I rubbed up against something today and I cut myself, man. The hell? What happened to that 20-year-old skin where I could rub against freaking barbed wire and didn't get fairly cut? Man, I hardly rubbing some. I forget. Like, damn, old man. I was getting out the thing out of the generator, and I just walked around. I didn't know what I hit. I didn't even really feel like I hit anything. I look back, I'm bleeding. And it was like yesterday, guys. I cut my thumb. It just was like, I was cutting all that tin, and I barely cut myself with our hands. I'm like, Father, why do you do this to me right now? I'm trying to get done. So, but it was so silly, man. The guy looked at me like, I was like, dude, I just don't want to get old, man. Our skin shouldn't cut like that. You should be able to rub against something without it getting cut, man. Getting old, guys. that skin shouldn't have cut like that, but it did, man. It cut me good. Like, damn. I'm not that thin skin yet, but I'm just saying, okay, guys? I don't have 20-year-old skin anymore, although I want to. I'm trying. I don't got some little, but okay. Anyway, it's not about looks, like I said. It just, I want to be versatile and rigid and, what I got to go climb through the brush and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't want to be getting all cut up and, so it was kind of disappointing. Like, I knew I'd rub up against something, but I didn't expect to look down and see it all ripped and bloody. Seriously, it was disappointing. I'm like, dude, no way. Why? God, I didn't even hardly brush up against, but it shows me, guys, I'm getting older. So I got to take care of myself, guys. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to show you, kind of come full circle. We're not bulletproof. We're not. I'm not 20 anymore. I want to act like them, feel like them, but I'm not. And things like this happen to my body and tell me, dude, you better take care of yourself. So take care of yourself, guys, because we will eventually get older and we will pay for the things that we do to our bodies. I'm one of those people. That's why I'm so sore. It's not so much from this vertebrae break, and I know it has a lot to do with it. It's the old injuries too that just, tend to just too beating on myself. Take care of yourself. You don't want us talking with somebody about this again yesterday. You don't want to spend work your whole stinking life to get a bunch of savings to get all stressed out and beat yourself up to give it to a doctor. You're going to give all your savings away that you made to some doctor and you not get to go enjoy life with the money in your retirement, be feeding the big farm guy. Take care of yourself so you have something to do with your money later. Your body's a temple. So it's strong, it's rigid. I'm proof of that. You can beat the living piss out of your body and it's resilient. It'll not gonna grow back another thumb, but flesh can grow back. Things are, it's our body, not on your ear though. If you get shot with a 30-06, not in the, all right. All right, guys. Thank you, Sabrina. Appreciate it, sister. Love you. We'll see you on the next live stream. Possibly for the end of the day, and if not, maybe after tomorrow we'll see it. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to town first part of the day because that package doesn't show up till later in the day, so it's going to make for a weird day tomorrow. So go enjoy your day, go do something productive, and we'll see you guys again, Father willingly. That's Agape. If you love him, come back here. We like to share that love, not hippie peace nonsense. So sharing the love. All right, love, brothers, sisters, Pastor Revelation, Apocalypse. Whoa.